Welcome to next lecture 13. Okay, so today we'll go for the of last concept of your unit 3. Okay, that is your molecular luminescence spectroscopy. Molecular luminescence spectroscopy. So this is what you are having the last concept in unit 3. So what is this luminescence? This is very much important here, because if you see most of the cases like NMR, okay, mass spectroscopy, UV spectroscopy, IR spectroscopy, they all depends on absorption. Okay, so this depends on the absorption. So electromagnetic radiation is absorbed, and whatever the changes is found in the respective atomic structure, so you can see they have been considered in different spectroscopies like NMR mass spectroscopy, where you are determining the molecular mass, the UV visible IR spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy. So this is how. Okay, so they all depends on the absorption. And in emission spectra, so here I will write in emission spectra. Okay, so here what happens, first absorption takes place if this is a ground level and this is the excited level. So whenever the atom is absorbing the radiations of a particular wavelength, so they get excited here, and when they come back, okay, so they emit, okay, some radiations. So this is called as a emission. So this is called emission. So here in molecular luminescence spectroscopy, or sometimes similar almost to the photoelectron spectroscopy. Okay, so photoelectron spectroscopy, photo means light, photoelectron spectroscopy, PES we say. Okay, so both almost so actually this is a combination like molecular luminescence spectroscopy and photoelectron spectroscopy. Here the objects gives off the light. The main thing is what here the object what we are in study gives the light, gives light. This is what gives the light. For example, you see the sun, stars. Okay, so sun star, you can see the fusion reaction is going on there, fusion reaction, and this is what they are emitting the lights. Okay, so this is what you can see. Even fire explosion if you take, so you can see that this is due to combustion. Due to combustion is also an example where the light is given off. Okay, glow in the dark, glow dark in the dark. Okay, so for example, some compounds like coumarin, okay, organic compounds, they have some glowing in nature whenever it is in the dark, so it also give off the light. So then flash bulb light. Okay, flash bulb light. So in the in fair and all we get such type of bulbs. Okay, so fireflies, okay, in night you can see some flies which is having glowing glowing like no, in night you can see that, and that we call it as a bioluminescence. Okay, because insects are having that nature of glowing the light. So such type of this luminescence we call as a bioluminescence. Okay, it's a chemical present in that, and by which you can see they glow. Okay, so like this, even coumarins also. So such compounds, okay, coumarin compounds like this. Okay, so you can take it. So coumarins, they also, whenever they hit some light, so they are going to have the property of the glowing in nature because of 5 to pi star transition is there, or even n to pi star transitions. Okay, double bond conjugations and here carbonyl. So these all things you can see the nature the makes the molecule to glow itself, put the light, and that we call it as a, that is one property of the luminescence. Okay, so a large number of substance known which to absorb. So if you see a large, okay, a large number of substance, okay, is known to absorb UV visible light, okay, in the range of 400 to 700 nanometer. So most of the substance absorb this light of UV visible in 400 to 700 nanometer. Okay, these substance lose energy, excess of energy. Okay, so these substance lose excess of energy, okay, as heat. After absorbing, they lose the excess of energy as a heat through something through collision with neighboring atoms or molecules. This is important. Okay, so larger substance, most of the substance they absorbed in this range, and they lose the excess of the energy whatever they absorbed is in the form of heat or due to collision with the neighboring atoms or the substance. Okay, so this is what you can see. This is what about the this concept of molecular luminescence here. Okay, some may lose as any compound in double bond or carbonyl associated with double bond. So this is what we are seeing. So whenever you can see, as I said here, so in the ground state here, so whenever you are absorbing some light here, so then it is going to excited state, and when it is emitting out, so this is emit out in the form of maybe heat or sometimes the light energy. So this we observe as a luminescence. Okay, so spectroscopy, so whatever this we call. Okay, so this is even the acetophenone. Sometimes some compounds like acetophenone solution, so they give some this concept of spectroscopy. Okay, like luminescence. Okay, the electromagnetic radiations emitted wavelength may be longer here. So whatever the electromagnetic radiations here emitted, okay, so in this case here, so electromagnetic radiations emitted in this case, the wavelength whatever we are going to get is longer. Okay, if wavelength is longer, energy is less, so less energy, more wavelength will be there, and this process is called as your luminescence. Okay, so this may be for 400 nanometers, so but emitted may be maybe fire. For example, longer wavelength means what? If you want to excite this, if you excite these molecules for about for think that 400 nanometer, and whenever they are going to emit here, so it will be 500 nanometers. So this is what the higher energy wavelength is going to be emitted out here. Okay, so this is but of lower energy to the excited to the incident light. So that process we call it as a luminescence. Okay, luminance phenomena. So this thing we have to keep in the mind. Now this luminescence is classified into two types. Okay, one is photoluminescence. Okay, and one more is chemiluminescence. Chemiluminescence. Okay, photoluminescence and chemiluminescence. So this you have to broadly classified, and this photoluminescence is again classified into two types here. So fluorescence, and one is phosphorescence. This we know. Okay, frequently we fluorescence and phosphorescence. Okay, so this is what we can see, and chemiluminescence can be classified in two types. That is man-made. Okay, man-made chemiluminescence, and one more just now I told, that is bioluminescence. Okay, which is also a chemical luminescence, which is present, the chemical is present in the fireflies, and because of that you can see it has been absorbing the light and emitting, showing the property of the luminescence. Okay, so this is what. Now, yeah, we know that the atoms is like that. Okay, so here like this, and electrons are present. This is a nucleus, electrons are present in this way. Okay, and whenever you hit the light of that, it will go to the higher energy level and again come back to the lower energy level. So this is what we can show that electronic. Now in the fluorescence, now one by one, if you see concept of this luminescence we understood now. Now if you see the fluorescence, remove this. Yeah, if you see now the concept of fluorescence. Okay, so here what happens, the electron absorb photons of light here. So electrons, whatever I just said, just now I said, if an atomic structure if you take here, okay, and the electrons are moving in the orbit here, and whenever this electron absorbs the photon, okay, they absorbs the photon here, photon of light, and gets excited here. So when they get excited to higher energy level, so okay, and the electron falls back to the original level again here. Okay, giving off the photon of light, so same thing as I explained now. So this is your E1 ground state. Okay, so heat it with the particular wavelength, and this is your E2 excited state when it go up here. Okay, and you can see here when it when it come from the E2 to E1 here, so there is emission of the light here. Okay, so this is what in fluorescence we see here, same concept here. Okay, so main thing is what here to understand is there is first the absorption. Okay, then you can see there is then excitation, excitation to higher energy level, excitation to higher energy level. Then definitely there is emission, this process you can see. Then you can have an orbit across. Okay, this is what you can see. First, the absorption of the light is there. Then you can see the excitation to higher energy level. Okay, absorption of light, then excitation to higher energy level, and then its emission. Okay, and electron orbits around the nucleus, that we know. That is what the changes we can find here in the luminescence process. Okay, the source of light, whatever it strikes, so here, and it makes the electron jump to higher energy level E2. And in electron in stable for short time here. So if you see here, whenever the electron it jumps into the higher energy level, it is stable for short time here. Okay, so if for a short time it is in the upper level, and immediately after that time, so in a short time it returns back to lower energy level, exciting a photon of giving a photon of longer wavelength. Okay, and the electron continues on its way, and this is continued on its way, and that process is the fluorescence process also, we can say it here. But in fluorescence the light is temporary. Okay, so in this case, okay, the light is temporary. Whatever the light this is there is temporary. This is important, is temporary. Okay, as soon as you remove the incident light here, as soon as the incident light is removed, this is important. As soon as the incident light is removed, there is no more photons excited. Okay, there is no more photons excited. See here, this is important in fluorescence. Once you excite this, okay, it get excited, come back to the ground state, and emits the light in the form of heat energy or some other things, and that's the object glows. Okay, but as soon as you stop this incident radiations to fall on this, immediately whole thing will stop. Okay, that means the object is now fails to give the light in fluorescence. So that is what the difference here. Okay, and it whatever the excess radiations, okay, the lapse, we call it as a time lapse here. Okay, that is in the very short, that is 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power minus 4 seconds. So this is a time lapse we say. Okay, so short will be there, and that's why you can say that this fluorescent, once the incident light is stopped, again this will fail. Now fluorescence will stop emitting the light. Okay, so this is what you have to see in the fluorescent here. Okay, now if you see the phosphorescence here, so if you see the phosphorescence, this is all the basic things you have learned already. In phosphorescence, similar to fluorescent here. So this is similar to fluorescent. Okay, this is similar to fluorescence here, except that the atoms or molecules, okay, they store the light here. This is important, they store the light. Okay, they store the light, and electrons give off photon. So electrons here give off photons. Okay, give off photons, give off the photons over a longer period of time, give off photons over a longer period of time. Okay, and even when the incident light is cut off, this is important, even when the incident light is cut off, this is important. Okay, this is a phosphorescence. Okay, so that's why it is also called as delayed fluorescence. This is also called as delayed fluorescence. See, okay, so this is a specialty of the phosphorescence. So here, once the incident light is cut off, what will happen? The fluorescence stops. Okay, so there is no glowing of the object. But here, even if you stop the incident light, okay, the object is glowing. Now it's glowing. That in most of the if you go to some fair and all, you can get the materials, always in the light it is glowing. There is no as such small, you can put the battery, and after put off also it's glowing, small it is glowing. Okay, that you can observe. Why? That's because of the phosphorescent material is present in that. Okay, so initially it will absorb the light and starts exciting, and while coming down it will emit. But what happens here, time lapse is very much important. Here it is very less time lapse. Okay, but in phosphorescence it is 20 seconds. See here, whenever the excitation is there here, for example, if you see here, again I will draw it here, E1 E2, it gets excited here. Okay, and when the excitation takes place, so the electron should come here. Okay, so here the electron should come here, but in phosphorescent it will stop here for some time. Okay, so that's called triplet state. This is called as a triplet state. Okay, so triplet state, it is going to stop here, and then it is going to come at the ground state here. Okay, so this is called time lapse, so 20 seconds. So this is what you are having. Why this is phosphorescence will even glow even after the incident light is put off, because of this mechanism. Okay, because of the time lapse, they can store some amount of flashlight. I can say here they store some of the flashlight. Okay, so this is what happens here. Okay, so whatever the flashlight you apply here, so it goes up here, and the time they take more time, okay, to return back to the ground state. And during this state, what happens, they store some time here. Okay, and that's why even if you put off the incident light, this happens to be glowing here. So till there are so many electrons here, and slow by slow there is a transition here, and they emit the light here like this. Okay, and that's why even if you put off this incident light, it will glow, and that is the nature of the of the phosphorescent. Okay, so this is what you have to see, the difference between the fluorescent and the phosphorescent. Now if you see this fluorescence, they are very much used in the research. Okay, and even the Nobel Prize was got in the Nobel Prize was obtained in recently, I think 2008. Okay, for Shimura, Japanese scientist Shimura O and Roger. Okay, Shimura O Roger. So they had, in 2008 they got the Nobel Prize for this development of GFP, development of GFP, that is green fluorescent protein, green fluorescent protein. Okay, so this is the master stroke in fluorescent work, and which got the Nobel Prize for this GFP. And this green fluorescent protein, it was used as a tag for DNA. Okay, it was used as tag for DNA, and researchers can be able now with this tag. The researchers would have been able to watch the process, such as to watch the process. Okay, such as um, you can say development of nerve cells. Okay, and even nerve cells in the brain, development of nerve cells in the brain, or cancers, how the cancer cells spreads, cancer spreads like this. So these all medical term or related DNA based researching parameter could be done with the help of this GFP, that is green fluorescent protein. And that's why this Shiro, the scientist, Shimura and Roger, in 2008, they could able to get the Nobel Prize for this work here. Okay, so this is what about the I can say the one plus point of this study here. Now if you see in this process, fluorescent and phosphorescent, so there is a case of singlet nature and triplet state, singlet and triplet state. So this is very much important. Okay, what is this? Now if you see, for most of the molecules, okay, if you see what is the singlet and triplet state. Now if you see, for most of molecules, for the most of molecules, okay, for most of the molecules, so electrons are paired at the ground state. Electrons are paired at ground state, we know that. Okay, electrons are paired at the ground state. So that is a pair electrons have, if the pair of electrons have opposite spin this way, okay, then this is called singlet. If it is having, if it is ground state, if they are stating like this, so this we call it as a singlet state. You all know that. Okay, it's a common basic opposite spin. Okay, singlet. And they don't show any magnetic moment, so they fail because it cancels. So mu is equal to 0, they don't show any magnetic moment value here. But if the placed electrons of the same spin here, okay, so they have the spin of same spin in this way, so they are in the triplet form. Okay, they are in the triplet state, we say. And they show here. Okay, so they are going to show some magnetic moment. So mu is not equal to 0, they have some magnetic moment here, and they get combined and behave a tiny magnets. So they combine here, and they are behaving as some tiny magnets here. Okay, they behave like a tiny magnets. So such type of this you can see it is going to happen now. Now if you see the next here concept of this calculation of this what to say, calculation, we have done it already, of this multiplicity, that is spin state multiplicity, that is 2s plus 1. Okay, where s is nothing but total spin, total spin you call it. Okay, so definitely if you there is opposite spin here, so both cancels. 2 into 0 plus 1, so it comes to be 1. And if it is 2, you half plus half 1, 2 into 1 plus 1, that is 3. Okay, so this is what about the triplet state, and this is a singlet state we call it here. And you know that they are having the number of vibrational bands will be there like this. Okay, and here some atoms will be there. When you hit here, it goes to the excited this one state, and then it comes back to lower ground level of vibrational state here, state level, and then it come back to the lower level here. Okay, so like this, these are the electrons like this. Okay, this happens here. Several vibrational levels will be the energy levels will be there. That is, we know that nu1, nu2, nu3 like this. Okay, and it is going to emit here, and this of the less energy. Okay, they are having the less energy, long wavelength. Okay, and this process we say it as a fluorescence process. And now if I take in this way now, because this is a triplet state, and if I put it here, and you can say one of the excitation is takes place, and if it stands here for some time like this. Okay, now you can see here, in this electron I am taking opposite electron, and you can see here the excited electron will be like this. Okay, so here plus minus, here it is plus. Okay, like this it goes. And when it comes here to the excited state, here to the different vibration level, it is plus here, and when it comes back it will be minus. Okay, this way minus. That means there is no change in the electron spin here, so that's why it's very fast, no change in the electron spin here. But here in phosphorescence you can see here here, so there is here in this case also same thing here. So when it goes up it becomes like this plus here. Okay, and when it comes down here, okay, so it will be like this negative here. Okay, so here it is positive positive. So here the problem is positive, but when it comes it change the spin state here. This is what important. It will not change spin state in phosphorescence, but here you can see it changes this spin state here. But problem is now when it want to come here, see already it is there one electron, so there is a problem. Okay, and that's why since it wants to come down here already one, because this has excited now, this spin is excited here, and when it comes to down here, the same already one spin electron is there, so there is repulsion now, so it stays here for some time here. Now this is called transition state. This is your transition state, you call it as a transition state here. So inversion of spin, so this also is called inversion of spin here. So in phosphorescence you can see inversion of spin is happening, but here there is no inversion of spin here. See here. Okay, directly same spin is there here. Okay, so same spin is there. When it comes down it will change like this below. So it is plus is here, minus will come here, so like this. So that's why there is no problem. Very fast transition. But here there is a problem. So inversion of transition inversion of spin you can see here. Okay, and they are going, that's why they are going to stop here for some minutes here. Okay, for 20 seconds they stay here. Okay, that is a problem. So that's why we can say that both the spin of the same here, the ground state so have the some resistance here now, because here also same spin here also, so they have the ground state have some resistance there. And for this reason the electron takes some time to come down here to the ground state, and which this is unfavorable state here, so it rests here in the transition state for much time here. And that's why the process will be delayed, and after this it will come down here by in that moment. So many of the electrons are that is population is increasing here, and slowly this happens, where even if you incident light if you remove, so they keep on transition here like this, and they emit some light here. And that's why you can say that phosphorescence work on this process, this principle here. Okay, and that makes it the difference between the fluorescence, and already we have explained in the previous year. Okay, hope you understood. I think this is more than sufficient in this video to understand the luminescence process. Okay, so this also that which fluorescent always we do in the laboratory. Okay, so in lab we are having the fluorescence spectrometer. This work on this principle here. Okay, that's why molecular luminescence spectroscopy they have kept. Okay, so let me see in the next video if I get some more concepts on the fluorescence or molecular spectroscopy in deep. We will learn that. Okay, thank you.